So how are you, Mr. Culkin?
Oh, I'm fine. You didn't hear me before that came out. All right, 'cause I was saying
No, I
something.
couldn't hear
Oh,
you. But
all right. Good.
but
Sounded.
then it said that you were connecting to audio. So and then
I
you must
figured it
have
out
hit that button.
somehow. Yeah, because you told me. But I
So
got
what's
it.
up? How you doing?
I lied. I'm well. I'm alive. That's how I'm doing. Everything's fine. Otherwise. Like I said. Oh, and you know what? I think this case is. The more I got into it, it's not as obscure as I was hoping it would be, or as probably as you're gonna know
Do
this,
you think it's
but
one that I've heard of then?
certainly, certainly, certainly. Come
Okay.
to think of it, I'm sorry. It's not as like I only heard the Gwen one, and that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a
That
nice
was a
one.
good one.
That's an obscure one. I like
I
that.
had never heard of that case. How about you?
Oh no, neither have I.
No, uh-uh.
That's so cute. She could say Hooters. Hooters. She had a problem with
She said
that.
Hooters.
Yeah, Hooters. I don't
Yeah,
know. If she didn't point it out, I wouldn't have noticed. Yeah,
she's a trip. She's
that was
funny.
funny. It was.
It was fun. I like doing this because you know what? People are like bringing cases that I've never heard of.
Hmm.
It's something different, something new.
Very good idea. Yeah. No, I'm a fan of it. As you are.
So what you got, Shane? What
Oh, okay. You want to hear?
I do.
So it's the murder of Brenda Sue Schaefer. Does that ring any bells yet? No?
Brenda Sue Schaefer.
That's the victim. That's the victim. Okay.
Okay, nope, not yet.
Or it's the case of Mel Ignato. Mel
No,
Ignato? You don't? Okay, okay.
I don't think
Or
so.
oh wow, okay, this is good then.
No,
Ooh.
yay. No, I
Oh,
never
rock and
heard of it.
roll. All right. Holy cow. All right. Awesome. Rock on, man.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
not
Sorry.
starting in
Continue. Sorry for that.
76 though.
No, I'm just joking. All right.
Hey, we could go
Okay.
back to 73. It was a good year.
No, you could be my mom.
Oh my God.
Oh, you deserve that one. All right,
You
can we
did
get going?
not.
No, I did. I went there. I did.
Okay, so where are we? What year
Um,
and where does this take
okay.
place?
Oh, yes. This takes place around Louisville, Tennessee, Kentucky area.
Okay.
Okay, the day of the incident,
Yeah.
Saturday, the 24th of September, 1988.
88.
Yes. And like I said, it was the murder of Brenda Sue Schaefer. Brenda Schaefer. She was 36 years old, and she came from a large, rather loving family. I don't know how she got with this guy. She was so normal. She's, again, large family, I think 6 children.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm familiar with that kind of thing. And let's see. Oh, okay. So
Is
she
she
was
like a
single.
celeb or no?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay. Wasn't there a
Hmm.
Schaefer that was murdered that was a celeb?
Oh,
That name is ringing a bell for me, and I don't know why. Wasn't it an actress? Her last name was Schaefer?
a murdered actress?
I'm thinking like Charles in Charge, but I know that's not the show.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Do you remember Charles in Charge?
No, my sister loved that. We fought over the TV. I hate that was her half.
Okay, so let's get back to your crimola, Brenda Schaefer.
Yeah, Brenda Schaefer, and she, it does sound familiar, but no, Brenda Schaefer. She was 36 years old and single. I couldn't tell you if she may have been married once before, but whatever. She was single at the time.
Hmm.
And she was being, not stalked, but definitely wanted by this Mel Ignato, who is not considerably older, but he's older and funny looking, but he's a big guy. And she almost kind of was charmed by him, but he was kind of a loser. And there were so many like signs here and there, and she really wasn't into it. And he went as far as finally, she let them date. They dated, and he went for it. He really wanted to marry this woman. He thought he was in love with her, or thought he can control her, because I think he was one of those kind of guys. But
Hmm.
so he had asked her, and she wasn't sure. She wasn't sure. I think she actually said no the first time he proposed, right?
Hmm.
So he really wanted her. So he was very still persistent. So again, see desperation on Valentine's Day. He desperately proposed to her again. Again, it was Valentine's Day. It was like and he did it in a different way, and whatever it was, he got her to actually say yes. So she
Mm.
finally said she was all right, all
Maybe he
right.
just pressured her so much she was just like, God,
I
okay.
guess, but also she's a 36-year-old woman. She probably just wants to be freaking married. I don't know.
Right. Could be, right? So
I
she
don't know.
finally she gives in and she
Relented.
says, "Yeah, I'll marry you," right?
So that's what happened. Yep. And Brenda kisses her mom goodbye, then leaves for a date with her fiance Mel. Oh, who is divorced with and is a father of three. So he is, like I said, a little older, more
Mm.
experienced. He's already had a family and all that stuff. You know.
Okay, so she goes out on a date with her fiance. Now they're
Oh,
fiance. They're
actually,
not boyfriend and
yeah, we should go
girlfriend.
like screech and stop right here. Okay, for a second. So I got a quote from her brother. Speaking. Oh, she has five brothers. Did I say that already?
Five brothers. You said six
Yes.
kids in the family. So
Right.
she was the only girl.
Yes, and the baby, I believe.
Oh
So, oh,
man.
I know. She was just cherished, and I, oh, I can't believe they're gonna kill him or one of them.
Mm.
You know, God. Anyway, so one of the brothers is quoted as saying, his name is Mike Schaefer, says that Mel is quote, he is much in love with the sound of his own voice. He would not only dominate a conversation, he would be the conversation. And
Mm.
that reminds me, I think that's what detectives say of him too. I mean, that's just the way he was, Circle. You know.
Yeah, narcissist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very common. You know. Yeah. That's a good recipe in there. They really, you have to be. You're a sociopath,
Very
and he's very
selfish,
similar.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. My father, by the way. Anyway, so then it says also. Probably the same brother. Also, he says he is arrogant and compulsively neat, especially when it comes to his boat. Oh God, he had a boat.
Mm.
Yeah, that reminds me of Sleeping with the Enemy. That stupid Julia Roberts movie.
Mm. Oh yeah.
I saw it in theaters when it came out. Yeah, yeah. Remember
Oh my
that?
God, I think I did too.
Just like it. Just like it. Okay. Remember
Yeah.
that. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're
And then I
getting
got
old,
another.
Shane. You're getting old.
I
Face
know. Oh my God! Before you, Mom, brother Tom, is
Mm-hmm.
quoted as saying, "You could be sipping on a soft drink and then set it down on the table, and he'd be run over and pick it up and wipe the table off, like what are you doing?" That kind of
Yeah,
guy.
like OCD.
Yeah, 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 but yeah, severe. Okay, so right now, dot 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 dot. The
Everything
quote.
had to be just so.
Well, still, and the quote continues. It was obvious how everybody felt about him. They were, of course, nice to him, but she knew, meaning Brenda. She knew also. They could tell. Um,
Well, that's
Again,
probably why she was reluctant to say
right to begin
yes.
with. Yeah, she never
She
really
knew
even
she was
wanted
going to
to
be trapped, right?
from the start.
Probably.
From the start, yeah.
Hmm.
But he must have done either a good job or
I
a
think a
good
lot
use of
of
her talent.
times, Shane, like these kind of men, they kind of break women down by kind of getting at their self-esteem, and then maybe they feel like, oh, I'm not really going to, do any better. And they settle.
Yeah, maybe he just convinced her, almost like in a business kind of way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, or he's a charmer, maybe. Like some are.
Hmm.
Well, maybe not. I can't tell.
Was he a good looking guy?
But no, God, you look like my. No, he's horrible looking. You'll look it up. God, I wish I could
Yeah,
find
no,
it.
we're gonna put pictures with the video, so I'll see what he looks like. But
Oh,
I
those
just
will be
pictured them
interesting.
to be like, pictured him to be like a good looking guy, being
No,
all,
and he looks like a
cons-
loser. There's a real big famous photo of the two of them, and God, he looks just like the dorky loser he is. Like, look, this is mine. I got her. I bought her. Mine. I don't know.
wow.
Yeah, you'll see that picture. I hope you put it up when I put it up. Mine, mine, mine. Go, go, go. No, 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 mine. Okay. Well, she's missing, right?
Hmm.
The details actually matter.
Right. So this is when it gets like attention
Like
because
where's
no
Brenda?
one can find her.
She's
Yeah.
gone. Yep. And he was semi-smart and was one of two people that actually.
He actually reported her missing.
Yeah, yeah, which is kind of smart. I
Yeah, a
think
lot of these crimes, the guys wait, and then they're like, "Well, why'd you wait so long?" It's
no
so
kidding. Huh?
obvious. Yeah.
What a giveaway. God, it's so God. It's like, why would you think about being a criminal? They don't think of themselves as criminals. They're committing a crime. It's very, very stupid.
So
Um,
he actually filed a report.
yeah, brilliant, actually. Yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Um, God, yeah, see Scott Peterson. It's just he did one thing smart. Remember Scott Peterson? He at least pretended
Uh-huh.
to call his wife, left a message. Hey,
Yep.
honey. Yeah, see, that was a little smart, but damn, he didn't call. He didn't. A bit, but I've seen another husband do that, and they still all get caught. Thank God. Because
We
that
could
wasn't
we
that.
could go on about Scott
Oh,
Peterson too.
I know. Holy cow, that'd be like 6 parts. But
Right?
she's missing, and so he's taken in for an interview slash interrogation.
Hmm.
He brought. He. Oh, yeah. Listen, he brought notes. Have you ever heard this before? He brought notes.
To
Mel,
the
Mel, if you,
interrogation?
yes, he brought notes. He was, you know what I mean? It's worse than
What?
bringing a lawyer. He brought
So
a
he
detective
basically
notes
brought
with
like a
him.
script?
Yeah, you're right, right, very good. There you go. No, I've never either, and I don't think I got maybe some quotes from the detective.
I would
He,
think those detectives would be like, what the fuck?
and I think
Why
they did. Ah,
why does
yes,
this dude have a notebook?
no, that and that's it. There it is. All right. He had the day's events written down. He had probably had like 5 days of every cup of coffee and donut he bought and stuff. And
Sure.
yeah, probably
Covering
receipts.
his ass.
Sure, that's
CYA.
what I mean. Yeah, not that dumb. He's probably well into his 40s, by the way, at this point.
Okay.
Older than Brenda, who's 36, remember. The detectives have never seen anything like that. He was clearly trying to be, buddy buddy with the detectives, and it was kind of funny. That made the detectives extremely suspicious. Okay, Mel and Brenda's date. So Mel and Brenda went on a date, met in the late afternoon. They went for a drive. Oh, this is a story to the police, too, by the way.
Okay.
So that was her last,
This
that
is
was
his
her last.
notes, yeah.
Right, right. And this was her last night of, anyone knowing where she was or what she did. So he said they met in the late afternoon, went for a drive in Brenda's car, visited a boat show and art fair. Get this, Mel, doesn't think, oh, this is a quote, doesn't think anyone saw them though, because it was raining and they mostly stayed in the car. Oh my God.
You
Oh my God. That's why he's going to say that there were no witnesses, right? Could anyone corroborate? Can anyone at the art fair say you were there? Anyone at the boat show? That was his
wow.
reason. He said because it was raining and they mostly stayed in the car, so that's why. Yeah, that's why nobody saw you. Isn't that's some balls?
All those places they went, but no one saw him. They went to a boat show,
Yeah,
but they were the only ones there.
yeah, he was almost smart and then he wasn't. Wow.
Wow.
So and then, yeah, after that I put ha 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 ha. Ha. That was just I mean, really, anyone doesn't think that anyone saw us because it was raining and they mostly stayed in the car. Ha ha ha. Ha.
Right.
And
Okay,
the
dude,
detective
right?
asked Mel something. I think it was probably immediately after. Detective asked Mel, "Quote: Don't you think that the sound? Oh, that sounds a little suspicious. That every place you told me you've been, that no one can corroborate that." Oh, and then Mel responds. He goes, "Well, I guess that does look sort of bad. I guess that maybe I can even look like a suspect." Wow, he said that. Okay, yep. And then, all right, and then continued on. Detectives felt like, quote, they had a body somewhere. Is what they were thinking at that moment.
Mm.
Or they had a body somewhere. It was just they knew. Anyway, Brenda's family is growing suspicious. I mean, they already were extremely uneasy with this Mel guy. He would cry, but there wouldn't be any tears. That's pretty common, right? You've heard that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Mel's anguish seemed forced and pretty obviously forced. Yep. Brenda's friend said Brenda was trying to break up with Ignato because he rather quickly became more controlling and obsessive. I can
Oh,
see
no. There
probably
you
what.
go, right there.
Yep. Yeah. Probably put that on a witness stand.
She
Um,
wanted out.
yeah. Yeah. All this just keeps going. This is horrible. By the way, we haven't really started.
We haven't
Okay.
even
So
scratched the surface.
not at all. She would use the bathroom one day, and Mel got really upset because she hadn't torn the toilet paper off straight. Oh, yeah. She said that, her friend, I'm saying. That was
Wow.
you know what I mean? Like that, oh, God. And I don't know if he's here, that's definitely sleeping with the enemy, you know?
That's really bad.
I think he just did
Damn.
it to have a reason to, smack her or a reason.
Yeah. What
I
a
don't know.
psycho.
Yeah, definitely just a cycle. Very, very bad human, you'll see.
I'll never look at the squares of toilet paper the same again, Shane.
Yeah, oh gosh, I'm sorry what I've done to you. But in the hotels, I'll do something cute. Well, I'll make a little triangle at the tip. When my
Yeah,
girlfriend comes over, you know,
I know
put some
what
stickers in it. Yeah, put a mint on top of it.
make it all tidy, like a little hotel.
You know, he had not torn the toilet paper off even. Of course, Mel was heavily pressuring Brenda into group sex. Uh oh. Oh, bondage. as well. Yeah. Oh, he was a nasty cat. And then so it goes, yeah, but Brenda resisted. She was really a good, normal person. That's
A
why you
good
couldn't
person. She
believe.
just got
Yeah.
involved with the wrong guy.
I mean, almost, church going, a good woman, very unfortunate. Too
That's
family.
disgusting, though. Okay, so he's
Oh, well,
forcing her into doing like these orgies,
well, he's pressuring her at this
and
point.
she feels like she doesn't can't say no,
No,
probably.
well, no, she's resisting. She's not allowing it. So to him, she's real boring and just not what he, paid for or he thinks in his mind. I might have. I'm outside. I've been bitten up too. I think.
But anyway, no, what was I going to say? Shit. You were choking on the bug, and I was going to say something, and now I forgot.
Oh, like she is really normal, and her brothers are wonderful people. They really are. It's really
Okay.
normal. And Mel, for the dork he is, just looks like a dork. Like a big. He looks like a big guy.
I
Just
can't
like
wait to see their photos now.
uh, yeah. Remember, her hair is so 80s, and his eyeglasses are 80s too. He's a dork. He's a big dork. You can tell he's like 6 foot something, but he's a dork. He looks
And he's
weird.
into group sex. Ugh.
Yeah, bondage and leather and shit. On vacation in Tennessee, she woke up to find Mel Ignato pulling a rag away from her face. Her nose and throat were burning. So, and then she remembers this. Okay, so Brenda was too uptight about sex. That was his thinking, and life in general. Honestly, I can tell that Brenda was a real prudy nerd, but definitely the marrying type and would help give a good man a very good life if you don't mind never petting a pussy again. So Mel was doing sneaky shit to relax her. Oh, that's me.
Wow.
That was me. I'm sorry. I wrote that. Oh my god.
You just gave yourself
I was looking for
away.
the quote. Yeah, I was like, who
Oh
would
my
say that?
God.
Oh my
You are
god.
too funny.
Yeah. Oh shoot. I mean,
You know who the Schaefer was that died? Rebecca Schaefer. That show was My Sister Sam.
yeah.
So,
Oh my god.
oh my
Um.
gosh, we're really showing our age.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a what do you call it? An old soul.
Yeah,
My
right?
sister's that way. My sister's that way. I got a sister born in 1984, and God, she knows a lot. She's a big, she's a big fan of Taxi. She's like those older shows that you wouldn't
Yeah,
think and
she's,
didn't know
isn't that
anything.
funny?
Months go by, no leads, no new evidence. The lead detectives look back at his notes, at his own notes.
Hmm.
Yep, this is the lead detective, and so yeah, he's looking at his notes and remembers a woman he interviewed excuse me, just days after Brenda disappeared, right? And Marianne Shore was her name. And I think, which doesn't say here, but I've heard something. I think, what's his name? Mel Ignato, the bad guy?
Hmm.
And he, I think he slipped and just mentioned her name, and that was all they needed. But they left that out here. But so maybe that was it. So he went through his notes and remembers a woman. Well, he said he interviewed. Anyway, Mary Ann Shore is her name, and he's an old girlfriend of Mel Ignato's.
Mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, okay. So I put a asterisk. Okay. So something about that meeting with her, her body gestures, they knew that she knew more than what she was saying. She's lying. That's a quote the detective says. Mel and Marianne have been connected, for years, by the way. They're just like pretty close. They're almost like more, friends, fuck buddies.
They've been
They
like
ruined
lifelong,
stuff.
like friends for a long time.
Yeah, and they link back, and then they come back. They're more and more friends or friends with
Back
benefits
and
or fuck
forth.
buddies.
Hmm.
Marianne was only in her early 20s at the time. Wow. Oh, well, I guess in the beginning. He was older,
Hmm.
successful. I guess he was. He must have had some money, successful. She became his, quote, live-in babysitter, hoping for marriage. Finally, after 10 years, they broke up. 2 years before, Mel began to go out with Brenda. They broke up only 2 years before, though, so it was still, it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Hunch is that this Miss Shore might just be the key to cracking the case. All right, remember the detective,
Hmm.
Okay, so after doing a background check on this Marianne Shore woman, and he finds that she actually has 5 outstanding warrants, which are all separate, for writing bad checks. You
Mm.
know, one of those. So I guess they can hold her for something, right? You know what I mean? That she can't just
Yeah,
go home now. You know, that's the
they have
thing.
a reason to hold her.
Right, correct. So this detective promptly invites her, the genius, to a polygraph party. I wrote the genius. Okay, so might as well have been. She's presumed dead or something like that. Whatever it is, her missing. And Miss Shore went on trial, but she wanted immunity, right? That's what they usually do for a lot
Hmm.
of these places. So they put her. So she was either granted immunity pending, or whether she, tells them what they need or whatever. However it was, so they got her on the stand, and she did very poorly on the stand. I think they make fun of her too and to some extent, and she does such a bad job where she's not helping either the prosecution or the defense. And what did they get? Oh, but her story ends up being totally true. She said on the stand that Mel had actually kidnapped Brenda on that final date that they went on.
Hmm.
Okay, took them back to Marianne Shore's house. Okay, and
Right.
which, by the way, what they did, pause. They just prior to that, they were setting it up to be a pretty much torture chamber. They wanted to rape her. Yep. Even Mary was involved. And look at they're using her place, right? And so she's into that kinky, nasty, stuff too. And so they used her place for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe he still had kids or his neighborhood wouldn't do it. And do you know what they did? They even soundproofed it. They even tested it because they wanted to do it. They get off on doing it like weird. They wanted it to happen in the living room. You know what I mean? Which was close to the, where some suburban, homes. Where you open the front door. So it's like kind of like right there when you walk in. So they tested it. They put on some music at a certain level, and Mel went outside and he told Marianne to scream and like this, and they soundproof. They made sure that yep, this is gonna work. The houses, her neighbors are just far enough away, and it's basically this will work. We can torture her here. So that's why they selected her place. They actually sound tested it and they tested it, I know. And the fact that a female was involved with it too, it's just kind of rare. And so I've heard one thing where she kidnapped Brenda and brought her over at some point, but I don't think that's what happened. I'm guessing that he brought her over. Okay, so we're now Brenda. He got Brenda. Whatever. I mean, it probably would have been easy to do anyway. Over to this house. Okay, so she's there, and he instantly takes her, and they just start wailing on her, and they start beating her, and then they take her to the bedroom, and they rape her, and then he takes her to where he really wants to do this, because he wants this for posterity. Okay, he has Marianne Shore taking photos. She's actually partaking in the rape as well, and torture. I mean, they're beating her. Yeah, it's like they just did the initial pig dog thing. He just like break her real quick in the bedroom and just like throw her back in the living room. And this is something that he had planned himself. He had taken her on the coffee table and strapped her to it was a part wood, part glass coffee table, and she's think about a nice, normal, good woman. He threw her on there and strapped her and tied her to the coffee table. That must have been comfortable. Of all things, that's what he wanted. So he strapped her to the coffee table and he tortured her, whipped her, and everything, and violated her orally in every other way you could think of. And Mary Shore was taking pictures. I think 150, a lot of pictures of it. And she didn't like to admit it, but some of the pictures showed that she did partake in some of it too. She was getting off on it as well, but it was mostly him. And so they were taking so many pictures of this, that, and then he finally went and got some chloroform on a rag, and he just smashed it in her face. And apparently, that's what I keep hearing. That was the cause of death. So, but I think he chloroformed her to knock her out, and so it would be easier just to suffocate her to die. So I think that's what he meant by
Mm.
that. He used chloroform to kill her, and so she's dead. Okay. Um, now, to tell you the truth, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they ever recovered her body. Um, I could be wrong about that. No, I think I'm wrong about that. I think she was buried somewhere on someone's property, either his or hers. Again, forgive me. I'm sorry. It's kind of that's an important one. All right, so well, yeah, it was a makeshift coffee table torture block. You
And
know,
she didn't like make it that long, right? Like, I mean, how long did they torture her for?
hours. It was this that evening, but I'm sure they enjoyed it for
It was just the
probably
one
6 or 8 hours
day.
that night. Yeah, one night, probably 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, something like that.
And they planned it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, they were even, testing, the soundproof. Could the neighbors hear the screaming? It was dreadful.
Jesus.
Yeah, 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 yeah. These are, yep, yeah. And it was a woman too. God, I find that rare, but
That's
she's must have
sick.
been nuts. Of course, of course. But that's what people get off on. People get off on sick shit. The sicker, it's
And he
not.
may have had her brainwashed too.
Yeah, because who knows how they met? By the way, yeah, I couldn't tell you. Probably
Mm-hmm.
not off some internet like bondage site, or whatever the leather,
Something
whatever.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's daddy issues going on a bit. And then
Mm-hmm.
what was I going to say? Okay, so yeah, at this point, remember Brenda's been chloroformed and suffocated or whatever else, to death. She's gone and buried on one of the other's property. Got it? So that's where we are. Okay, so she's missing. Da 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 da, and then they're presumed. Through the interviews with the detectives, once they got to Marianne Shore, she finally starts talking. It's easier to break a woman. They always break the women, and so she starts talking and wants, either immunity or something, and to spill the beans on Mel, and then, so there's a trial. It goes to the grand jury, and then there's a trial. For
Mm-hmm.
Brenda's murder. You know, and so what was it? Okay, so Mel's on trial, and it's sort of a joke of a trial. It ends up being just so bad. Again, it has something to do with how poorly Marianne Shore did on the stand, and even one of the lawyers ended up making fun of her. She was just terrible, and I wish I could explain this part better. I'm so it's not a big one, but anyway, so it was such a bad and crummy trial. Okay, that Mel Ignato, the jury came in. Again, would be another nice thing to know how many hours they deliberated, if not days, because they found Mel not guilty. They found him not guilty of murder.
Wow.
You get
And
it?
they had found the body too?
They did or didn't. I think they did subsequent.
Oh.
Get this, because okay,
He
so
got away with it.
yes, yes. Now, there's more. Okay, okay. All right. Now we move on. Mel, he says frick it, and he just moves out of his house. Probably wants to start fresh somewhere else. I think his kids are grown by then. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fairly certain they are. And so he sells his home and moves away. And do you know that one of the social psychiatrists, psychosexual psychiatrist, he was appointed, and psychosexual therapist at some point during the trial, and he did, or during the investigation anyway, and he did, he suggested that whoever did this, because remember, Mary Shore was on the stand, and she said that she explained everything. She told the truth. That's why it was hard to believe that he was found not guilty, but they just didn't believe her. She was so terrible on the stand. And let me tell you, I'm sorry. The judge at the end of the trial, I'm sorry, let's get this. He apologized. Remember, not guilty. So he apologized to her family, the Schaefer family, because he couldn't believe it himself. And he berated the jury for this too.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Did the jury people ever come forward and explain why?
I couldn't tell you. Were they even allowed to do that back in
Yeah,
89,
I don't know.
1980 or
I'll
something?
look
Yeah,
that
I'm
up though.
sorry.
That's interesting because
Yeah, I'm so
I
sorry.
wonder what made them like
hmm It was mostly
what
her.
gave them reasonable doubt
It was her. It was her. They did not believe her.
because they thought she wasn't credible.
She was exactly, and she was so unbelievable on stand. And she,
Oh my God. And
yeah,
she played right into what he was probably sitting there going, she's gonna blow this. He
what do you
probably
mean?
like he probably felt confident that,
Oh, yes.
she was gonna be discredited like that.
Yeah, and oh, and that's another thing. Okay, Mel also, on top of everything, he retained had an excellent attorney. Also, he happened to get one of those real, slick big city attorneys,
Mm-hmm.
defense attorney. So that helped him very much as well. And he just like cut her down, and she was obviously a dumbbell too, and so they just did not believe her, and she made it real easy. And remember, double jeopardy. He can't be tried ever again. He got away with it, as you know. And
And
so,
she got away with it because she
yeah, for sure.
testified.
Well,
So no
yeah, with
justice for
immunity,
this
correct,
girl.
at all. So that's what I mean. The judge, firstly, he just turned to the Schaefer family and said, "I could not believe this. I am so sorry personally for this." And then he turned around to the jury and said, "Shame on these people."
Wow.
Shame on you. Yeah, they just didn't get it. They fell for he was a slick attorney, man. And he made her look bad, and she did. She looked like
He
an idiot.
actually chastised the jury though, huh?
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
And so, okay, now we're
You
there.
don't hear
Sorry.
that very often.
No, and I wish you would. Sometimes that's not the only time that I wish I would have heard that. But the first time that I did hear that, it was done.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I hope you edit that before. So so now we are, and so now, like I said, he has grown kids, and this is he's getting up there, and he moves out of his house. Oh, and remember, like I was saying, um, I think it was the prosecution had secured and had a psychosexual therapist, right?
Yeah.
Or the detectives, at least had them help, come help. And one of the things that he said about this person, Mel, is if this is true about all those photos, and he's quite right, um, they're still out there somewhere. He's not throwing these away.
What
You need to understand.
photos?
The photos, remember she took 150 photos of the torture and
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
documented the goddamn, the torture and the rape and the murder itself. He was taking pictures anyway, photos.
Good
And he
Lord.
said, "There's no way this man is going to throw those away." So he's like, "They exist out there, you know." So they said that, but there was it was just something that was just kind of like, yeah, it's true, but it actually doesn't matter. I mean, he can't be tried again. It's a
Did they
civil
ever
law.
recover the photos?
Well, if you would have some patience. No, I was just getting there. Listen, okay, so he moved out. He moved out of his home, right?
Hmm.
Like I said, okay. And so then the new people came in. Someone else bought the house, and they were laying carpet. And the person laying carpet was ripping up the carpet. And as he did so, there was, like a floor block that pulled up as well. And in that little hole, it pulled up some film rolls. Yeah, yeah. And wouldn't you believe it? He was smart. He turned it over to whoever should, the police, and they developed it. It was chronicled. That woman
Oh
told
my
the truth.
God.
Marianne Shore was telling the truth on the stand. She said everything was absolutely true. And it was too late. He can even say, "Hey, I killed her. So what? Huh? And really,
Wow.
that's the problem with that law. Yeah, he could write a book. He can go on a parade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
messed
killed
up.
her. Yeah, I don't get that law. I mean, it comes from England, but yeah,
Yeah, because more evidence comes out
it doesn't
and they
matter.
can't do
Yeah,
anything about it.
yeah.
Like you said, he
I
could
do
admit it.
understand it. I mean, it's good too. I do see, just both sides
I'm
of it.
surprised none of her brothers did some vigilante justice.
Wow, oh boy, I think that was the first thing I said. Yeah, oh my God, they're too nice. I'm telling you, are a good family. And what's good with that, dude? They're great. And one of them are in prison.
True.
It's just
But being the
Little
baby
girl.
sister
Oh,
of
I
5
know.
brothers, they had to be protective over her.
Of course. That's why I'm surprised it even got this far, or they just allowed it. And anyway, so yeah, they found those photos, and there was nothing that they could do. But what they did get him on, so he ended up doing like actually 9 years. They got him in prison for perjury because obviously he lied on the stand and he lied this and that. And they got
Mm-hmm.
him for 2 charges. They got him for perjury, and I'm so sorry, I can't forget the other. It might have been 2 separate counts of perjury or something. One was
Mm-hmm.
like 4 years, and one was 5 years, and he ended up serving the whole shit. So they got him for about 9 years.
They got him for what they could, yeah.
Yeah, same with I think that was like O.J. Simpson as well. I think he got him for about 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
He did, and same thing. He got him for about 9 years,
That
and
ended
he
up
gets
biting
out.
OJ, didn't it?
Yeah, well, same thing. I think it was exactly the same thing. He got like 9 years for whatever they could get him for. Just put that in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And so, same with this guy, Melignado, and he's from what did I say, Louisville, Kentucky. Anyway, that's where he's from. Started backwards. So now he
Louisville?
is, yeah, that's his birthplace, 1938. He was born. There you go. So I forgot. That's why. Anyway, that's he was born in 1938. I remember that. And so okay, so now he's
My
gotten
God,
out of
so he's
prison.
like 80.
Oh, he's very old. Yeah, he was old to begin with in a way. He was like mid late 50s when this whole thing started.
Oh, damn.
I think from what I think, 'cause it was oh wait, 1938. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no, he was in his 50s. He was in his early 50s. I'm sorry. Anyway, but so by the time this all ran its course, right? In like 2008, we're at now. Okay, so he got out of prison and he was free for a couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know it? Okay, so he's on his couch one day, and I believe he's having some sort of either a stroke or a heart attack or something. He's by himself at home. He's on the couch, and he gets up, because he's freaking, he's panicking. He's going through whatever that is. I apologize. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure. He's dying, and he knows it. So he
Mm-hmm.
gets up, and he's freaking out, and he gets up, and then he falls down, and he falls down, and he crashes on his coffee table, like this glass wooden coffee table, and it just smashes him and cuts him all up, and it really hurts him. That almost is what killed him because he gets up very badly, and he's just sort of either crawling or just limping and struggling around the house, and he gets to I don't know, the front door or the door of somewhere else, and he
Mm-hmm.
collapses and actually dies because he bleeds out. And so it was actually when he crashed on the table, that's what killed him because he bled out from the
How
glass on the coffee
ironic.
table. Thank you. That was one of those. What do you call that? Now what is the word for that? It's so
Karma?
obvious too. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, one of those murders that met with karma. Everybody's
Okay,
dead. Yeah.
so he died. Where's what's her face now? Marianne. Did she die too?
Oh well, I think she was granted. No, hopefully, but I don't know.
Like, I wonder what okay, what would be scary for me if I was Marianne
Hmm.
and I just testified against this creep and then he got off.
Yeah,
She had to be scared to death. I wonder if they
that's what
protected
happened.
her, like witness protection.
Oh, I see. Because that happened, right?
I wonder if they did.
Oh, well, yeah. She's not Marianne anymore, right?
She's probably got a new
She's like someone
identity.
in
They would have to
Wisconsin,
protect her
right?
ass because if she, you know, put her ass out there to,
Right? Doesn't that suck?
oh my God, I would be petrified. I'd be like, this psychopath is going to kill me next and
He
like
knows
chloroform
exactly
me.
what he's capable of. And think about it,
Yeah.
just as revenge. You know what I mean? Like he can't even. It's not like he
Oh,
can
I'm
do anything
sure
with
he
them.
was
He can only take them back.
pissed.
Right, right,
I'm
right.
sure he was
You'd be scared of him.
pissed. How dare
Yeah,
she
good
turn
point.
on
Good
him,
point.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I picked a good case then. I guess.
I
I mean,
love
I
it
think
because I never heard of it.
more than half of your viewers probably do.
So you know what
But
I'm
it's
going to
a very
spend the
famous,
rest of my night doing?
cases double jeopardy. What's
I'll
that?
be obsessing, like Googling. Now you've
What?
got me like
Go.
on this case. Now you got
Oh
me
yeah. Oh, it's
intrigued.
not.